Hello everybody and welcome to Decoded Studios. We're on Devlog 16 of Arkmaster, and today we're going to be looking at a couple of scrapped mechanics and ideas that I couldn't quite get to work correctly. To begin, let's talk about titles. Now you're probably wondering, wait, did you talk about titles already in one of your previous videos? And yes, I did, but I believe I have found the original. And here it is, my first logo. It has all the makings of a bad logo. It's messy, uncoordinated, sloppy, it doesn't make any sense, it has my name on it. But hey, I was young, and I changed things for a reason. Moving off of titles and onto title screens, there was at one point planned to be a file save system, but then I realized making one save system was bad enough. I don't know if I can even make 3. Next up on the list of stuff that I didn't add are a couple of collectibles. To begin, we have the My Little Ponies, which were going to be scattered around the world in various places, but I eventually scrapped the idea because, it's a bit personal, and I don't want to infringe on copyright. Another thing that I thought would be neat to add was adding my dogs to the game. Now, on these sprites, they're really kind of sloppy, but the thing that really stopped me was actually making them function. Yeah, I thought it would be really cool to have the dogs follow you around the level, but I never quite got that good at coding to figure out how to actually do that. So I got rid of it. Some other things that I found while scouring the game's files were a couple of Easter eggs, like this Smash Ball, Kirby, a Yoshi egg, or a mushroom, I suppose. One thing I have left over from game development is this placeholder sprite. Now, I know it doesn't look like much, but it's not supposed to be much. It's pretty much just a texture I can put on an object that I haven't made a sprite for yet. Now, this horrible thing you're looking at right here is the Revive Crystal. It's actually the first iteration of the Respawn mural, and you actually had to pay to use it, which is absolutely outrageous in this economy. Another random sprite that I just decided to remove was this here tutorial mural, teaching the player how to move. I got rid of it because, I have a sign that does the exact same thing, but better. Now, this sprite right here is the old design for the Arkmaster's tower, which can be found in a couple of the city levels. You see, it had to be changed because it looks eerily similar to the Avengers tower. Do you see it? Here's a couple of other random sprites in the city world that either got replaced, forgotten, or just flat out ignored. Next up, we're moving on to something a little bit more exciting. We're going to move on to weapons. Now, at one point, these were actually implemented into the game, but were removed for various reasons. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Yeah, this sword was pretty cool. It shot a beam of light when you used it, and it had an actual hitbox. But it had to be removed because, copyright. Strangely enough, from the same series, we have the Mirror Shield, which wasn't originally removed due to copyright, but because I couldn't get it to reflect projectiles. I still don't know how to do that. And the last of these scrapped weapons was the, Flame Flower, and I really, really wanted this weapon to work out, but just take a look at what happens. Now, the original intent of this projectile was to just bounce around like the original game, but I think the bouncing went a bit too far here. The last thing related to the weapons that I'm going to talk about is the explosion sprite. See, now it looks like this, but back in the day, it looked like this. And that's the last of the weapons stuff. On to the fishing minigame. In the beginning, this minigame wasn't that fun. Instead of having the hook, line, and sinker we have nowadays, it was more of a spear fishing setup. To summarize, there was this big wooden mechanism that would rotate with a spear on it, and when you interacted with it, it would launch the spear in the water, hitting the fish. Oh, and there wasn't any upgrades. And now, moving on to the last thing of this video, the creme de la creme of scrapped ideas mechanics, removed levels. Now, there is only one, but trust me, you do not want to miss it. In most modern video games nowadays, there seems to be some form of vehicle level. I thought that would be a nice addition to my game. Little did I realize how difficult and taxing they would actually be to accomplish. Here's my, attempt at the vehicle level. No, the car is not supposed to be moving like that. And please don't ask me what the sign says. Now, if you look real closely, you can see some orange lines over the car. That's supposed to indicate that the car is boosting. And if you actually do it correctly, you can actually make the car go backwards while going forwards. And that, my friends, is exactly why that level was scrapped. Now, if you were paying close attention, you might have seen that there was a couple of slanted roads there. Originally, these slopes were meant to be everywhere. However, the code for the player movement does not work well with slopes, so they had to be removed. Now, I'm getting tired, and I think this video has been going on a bit too long as it is. I mean, there is more stuff that I still want to talk about, but I think that's too boring and kind of irrelevant at this point. So, as always, stay tuned.